Hello? You guys hear me? Somebody say yes. I know there's a few of you here. There's probably a little bit of a delay. Anyways, hey everybody. How's it going? Been a while. Let me turn the music down. Yeah. Yes. This is a test. This is not real. This is just a test. Wow. It's been a minute. It's been a minute. Actually, it's been lots of minutes. I was looking for when was the last time I did a live stream? It was on Twitch back Sunday, August 4th, 2019. So that's, I looked it up, almost 2,000 days, 1,957 days. When's the last time I put a video on YouTube? That's even longer. That's like 2 more years after that. So, man, it's been a long time. And I'm not even sure I'm gonna get to painting in a bit, but I feel like there's some catching up to do. It's a lot of years, a lot of time. Thank you guys so much for dropping in. I'm actually just hide the chat on the stream and just read it on the side here, because I think now I was used to streaming on Twitch a lot. Mostly Twitch was like my primary streaming spot, but now that I'm on YouTube, I'm getting used to this new platform. Anyways, but I think when you replay the stream, it should have the chat replay as well. I think in the VOD. So we'll test it out. Maybe you guys can correct me if you know better. Who here just watched the Game Awards? I missed the Game Awards. I'll have to rewatch it all tomorrow. Maybe I'll do that while I'm working. But thanks Junhao, Christian, Carmona, Nikita, Harry, Dave, Sarabia, No Speak, Iku. Oh man, I was expecting nobody to be here, so this is really great. Thank you guys so much for dropping in, and I'd say a big reason why I'm even doing this is because I've been getting a lot of comments whenever I post on Instagram or whatever. People are like, "Oh man, when are you gonna stream again?" And I'm like, you know what? Good question. When am I gonna stream again? And then I see on my my YouTube, there's still people watching those old streams from from a long time ago, from like 6-7 years ago, more than 5 years ago, right? Long time. So and they're still watching it. I was like, oh my gosh, people are still actually watching. I haven't added a video in 5 years. So it's you folks, and you know who you are. Those people out there who are watching it, and and I really do appreciate it, man. I'm always surprised that anyone would watch it. So thank you guys so much. And I'm not painting right now. See, it's not a delay or any magic. This is just a video. Just let the video play out while I catch you guys up on what I've been up to the last 5 years. Yeah, it's been, and try to say what's up to you guys. It's been a long time. Yeah, long time no see. Subak Studio, Renee, Jesus, Brian Ding. Oh my gosh, you guys, so cool. Thank you guys for jumping in. I really do appreciate it. Man, all right, cool. So let's go back in time. So yeah, since 2019, which is the last one, I joined a startup, and I think I may have mentioned it years ago. I joined a startup in 2018. It's called Singularity 6. It was just me and two co-founders from Riot Games. Two just amazing developers, amazing people. I really hit it off really well with them. I really enjoyed working with them, and we had been working back and forth for months on this idea. They ended up Ronald Steele, what's up, man? It's been a long time. It's been a minute. Nikita, I already said hi to Nikita. There you go. But anyways, I really hit it off with them, and we started working back and forth on this game idea that they had that they were pitching. They eventually pitched it with some of my artwork. I don't think they asked permission to use it, but anyways, they used some of my artwork. It was the Legend of Zelda painting, of course, the one that's like gone around the world 10 times. Yeah, I think they used that for their pitch deck. They ended up getting funding, and then I joined them, full time. And it was just 3 of us in a spare bedroom. And man, that was a start of a crazy ride. A good one. It was 6 years working at Singularity 6 with those guys, and we ended up, we started small, it was just 3 of us, and then we ended up growing to 6, and then 10, and then 20, and then 100, and then 200. It was, we did quite well with funding and stuff like that. So I'm very fortunate to have that experience. It was really great. But anyways, yeah. So doing that was like pretty taxing, and I had been streaming like pretty consistently for about 2.5 years or so, and I kind of just ran out of steam, sort of. Especially with the new job, it's just it's a lot to take on. Art directing a new project and building a team and all that. So that just kind of became my life. So it got distracting, but I was still streaming. Then well, we'll go to 2020. Then the pandemic hit, and man, it's been a while, right? The whole pandemic happened since the last time I streamed. Wow, crazy, right? Yeah, so that happened, and honestly, like at that point too, at work, I was like in several meetings a week. And I actually quit teaching then. I think at the time I was teaching with Brainstorm, and they were full remote, and I was I was on the webcam teaching every weekend, and then I was like on the webcam in meetings all week. So the last thing I wanted to do was spend my extra time being on the webcam again, talking, right? I got really good at it. I did a lot of that. So yeah, it was tough, man. So I stopped that, and I kind of stopped teaching, and I just wanted to get outside and get some fresh air and look at paper and paint on with brushes and just get away from screens as much as possible. So that was kind of what, and I was running towards the end of, I guess, my creative outlet here and on the streaming world. I just needed a break. And then yeah, the pandemic happened, and I didn't want to be in front of screens all the time, so it was really probably the worst time for me to get back into streaming at that point. But then one of the best things in my life ever happened in 2020, which was my son was born. Lynn and I's first kid was born on October 2020, so that was something. A COVID baby, right? Yeah, that was pretty amazing. So I had my hands full. I had a new baby. I was like not wanting to be in screens anymore. So definitely did not have any free time at all. Very, very little free time. Right. And then my other baby, the game, in 2021, we announced, we did our launch trailer. Maybe some of you saw our launch trailer. We announced our game. It was called Palia. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but I guess I could pop it up. Let's go like this. Anyways, so we made, I hope I don't get a copyright strike for this, but we made our first game. It was called Palia. I don't know if you guys have played it. It's a free-to-play game. It's still going. This was the cinematic trailer, actually. This is not the first trailer that we did, but the team at Axis did great, and I helped with art directing this one. So this was great. Really fun trailer to work on. Anywho, yeah, so the 2021 period was really crazy, just because like we were making all the trailers, we were getting stuff ready. So I thought maybe I could slip in now that the kid was a little older and he was on a schedule. I thought maybe I could slip in some streams here and there, but man, it was just a lot going on. Plus we were full remote, and as we started growing the team more, I was in more meetings. That's a trend that's going to continue. the bigger the team, the more meetings you have to do, especially when you're art directing. So, and over the course of my time there, I was doing less and less art because I was in meetings and, you know, dealing with other stuff. So, oh, great! You got to play Palia, Subak. Yeah, that's great, awesome. Yeah. So that was basically 2021, and we also, Lynn and I and our new baby, we got a new house. We bought a house, which was pretty amazing. Very fortunate and lucky to be able to do that. But of course, there's all the, if you've ever bought a house, you've been through that, it's a lot of paperwork and time, and it was just crazy. After that year, after doing the launch trailer, bought a house, had a baby, I was just like, I just want to like chill as much as possible for the rest of 2022, or 2021, and then into 2022. Yeah, so I was very busy with the game. We were growing so fast at the studio. You know, our head count grew and grew and grew. So, and yeah, this is Palia. Yeah, you guys know. Okay, let me. You guys probably have seen the launch trailer. The announced trailer, not the launch trailer. That was the launch trailer. Yeah, this was the official reveal trailer that myself and a small team worked on. And yeah, this is what really hit it off. We were pretty lucky. I mean, the game went viral, to our surprise and delight. So thank you guys so much if you guys played it or saw it. Thank you. Couldn't have done it without you, honestly. That reaction is what really helped us finish the game, honestly. Because even after this, there was no guarantee that we're going to be able to make it. But yeah, it was fun. It was fun to create the world. I mean, I 6 years of my life, I was just, my head was in this world and characters and the different areas that eventually we'll get to explore. And just kind of mired in the cozy aesthetic for quite a while. But yeah, this was my other baby, along with my newborn that was born in 2020. So I was real busy with that. And then 2023 was the release of Palia, which was a lot of work leading up to that. And another most amazing thing happened in my life is Lynn and I had a second child in 2023. And my daughter was born there. So 2 kids now, a house, and Palia baby. 2 babies and a Palia baby. And of course there's Mochi. We still have Mochi. Mochi's healthy. He's doing great. He's becoming an old man now, but he's gonna be 9 actually in February. It's crazy. Yeah, so Mochi's still around, but Mochi's easy. He's so chill. He's always laying down. He's an old man. Anywho, those are the trailers. Memories. I haven't looked at that. Back to the painting. So yeah, that's 2023. Palia was released, and that was crazy. That was a crazy release. Maybe I could do a whole video just on Palia. I mean, I could probably do 10 videos on Palia, 10 streams on Palia, just, recanting all the awesome stuff going on there. But yeah, I mean, as the team grew, as we got to 150, 180, the team was around, the art team was like 40 around that time. It was awesome. It was an amazing art team. Every single artist in there was just killing it, doing a great job. Really great stylized artists for character art, 3D environment art, concept art, UI, tech art, everyone. It was I always say is the best team I've ever worked with. They're incredible. Yeah, we did our Switch port that year, 2023. Right after launching the game, we did our Switch port, which was a lot of work. definitely. But yeah, it's out on Switch. It came out on Switch December last year for the holidays. So we met that deadline, which is great, but it took a lot of work, a lot of people put a lot of good effort, into making that come out. So that was exciting, but I was burnt out. I was burnt to a crisp, man. Like I was done at that point. Yeah, just as the team grew bigger and bigger, we were close to 200 around that time. Uh, it was a big management load. I mean, being the head of the discipline, there was just I don't know, it was just a lot of stuff to do. And over the course of my time with S6, we started small. I was like the only art guy, so I was doing the trailer, I was doing all the art, I was in the engine making stuff because there was like literally no one else. And then slowly over time, as you build the team, you tend to delegate a lot of those tasks away because my time is better spent enabling others to make the best art they can make. So over time, as the team grew, I was doing like fewer art, and probably the last couple of years I was there, I didn't do any art for the game at all, and very little for myself too, because just mental exhaustion and burnout. I would do an occasional virtual plein air painting or like a little thing on the side and maybe post it online. Not much. And then unfortunately earlier this year, going through some rough patches as a studio financially. Our releases weren't bringing enough capital in the end of the day. It's just simple economics, right? So we had to lay a lot of people off. So we did a round of 40, and then in April, early April, late March, and that was rough. A lot of really good people we had to lay off. Thankfully, pretty much all of them have found work at this point for the most part. Yeah, that was real tough. And then we did unfortunately, a month later, we had to do it again. It was in May. We had to lay off another close to 50, I think, around there. And it was at that time I was burnt out. I wasn't doing much work for myself. I just was not. I was like, I need a change. I can't do it anymore. So I left. I left. Yeah, so I left S6. It was back in May of this year, and yeah, I mean, I miss the people, I miss the team. I try to keep up with them, and it was a great experience. And oh my god, I've never had an experience like that before. Like all the stuff that I learned, just so would not trade it for anything, to be honest. It burned me out pretty bad, and I've never dealt with burnout quite like that before, where I was just like, I don't even know what I'm gonna do with my life. I don't know if I'm gonna paint again. I don't know if I'm just gonna be an art manager. Like, what should I do? So it's I'm going through a lot of rethinking what I do, why I do what I do, what excites me the most, and that kind of got me to just start doing art again, just painting a lot more at home, doing personal work. I didn't have a job, so no no trouble there. If I didn't have a job, I have plenty of time to work, do personal work, and try to figure out what I want to do with my life. And yeah, so I started doing more personal work, and then yeah, and I took up some contract work, and I took up contract work with a company called Squanch Games. They did High on Life. If you guys know that, it's like kind of like Justin Roiland sort of humor, first-person shooter where the guns talk. I really enjoy working with them, and I joined them as a concept artist, just working contract. And the deal was like, I just work here until I find a new job. I'm gonna be interviewing, and once I find a new job, I'll leave. But they were gracious enough to send me an offer, which I was really pleasantly pleased and surprised. And I was like, yeah, I'll join you guys. This is so much fun. So I've been working with them since August, pretty much full time. which brings me to this day today, which is kind of interesting because now I have a little bit more energy. I'm trying to get back to those things that were fun, that I had real enjoyment doing. And one of them is streaming, so that's why I'm here. Just want to check in with you guys. Y'all can hear me okay? Music levels are okay? Yeah, I'm trying to. I mean, this is the long and short of it. Yeah, thanks to the man with no screen name. Yeah, it's an abridged, I guess, history of what happened since 2019. A lot has happened since then, and maybe I'll talk a little bit about it. But yeah, I've definitely been thinking a lot about why I do what I do, not just how I do it or what I should do, but why I do what I do. And I've been thinking about a lot about searching for your why and what motivates us as artists, and why we paint, why we do what we do, why do I do what I do, and have to kind of rediscover my own love for making art again. And it's been interesting, like relearning to paint and draw and do the things that I used to do on a daily basis. And it's been crazy fun, like being a concept artist again, because I have to get my stamina back, remember how to draw and paint again. And it's been interesting. I've kind of taken a fresh take at I have a fresh take at how I do things now, which is pretty exciting. Tali, what's up? Welcome back. Good to see you streaming again. Thanks, Tali. Sounds like a hectic time, lol. It sure does. It sure does. And one of the great things about working with them is that I'm not in 30 hours of meetings a week. So I have a little bit more energy to sit in front of a camera and talk. And I have a little bit more energy to make more art again. So that's why I'm here. But I am making no promises at this point. I don't know that I will. It doesn't necessarily mean that I'll be here every week like I was before. I do have 2 kids, and I got a mochi, and I got a house, and all that. So life is busy and crazy and hectic, and I definitely won't be here next week, and I definitely won't be here the week after that because it's the holidays. So hopefully you guys are going out, enjoying your time with family, resting, relaxing, rediscovering your own passions for art and why you do what you do. And yeah, I think I'm just gonna try to have fun. One thing that when I was streaming before that I realized I was doing is I kind of had a formula that I kept doing every stream where it was like the gimmick almost. I'd mix it up here and there. We'd do like fun challenge streams and stuff, like and feedback and all that. That was cool. But I always had this like weird pressure on myself where I'm like, oh my god, every stream my gimmick is like I'm gonna start with a blank page and finish a painting by the end of the stream, and that was always my thing, right? It was cool. I got, I feel like I achieved my goals for streaming at that time. My goals being that like I want to be more confident. I don't want to be so shy in front of the camera. I want to be okay to fail in front of people, which I still need to work on. But I think I've got better at getting out of my, being comfortable in my own skin in those situations, which is great. I have different goals now, which I'm still discovering. So we'll see in what form that takes over the next year or so. But I am on YouTube now, which is different. And the reason why I'm on YouTube is because I noticed over 7 years of not posting anything on YouTube that there is still a good amount of people still watching those old videos. And it makes me cringe a little bit when I see a new comment pop up. I'm like, oh my god, I don't even want to hear myself talk. In fact, my son was watching like old streams that I did like 7 years ago, and I was like, I don't want to hear myself. It's embarrassing. I don't even want to see what I'm painting. It's probably terrible. But I think there's a lot of value. I think people have found value in seeing those old streams, so I wanted to get on this platform so that these videos can stay immortalized. I guess all my failures will stay immortalized. I guess that's kind of my insecurity. A little bit of insecurity here was why I went to Twitch is because it didn't stay. There was no VOD. It was just the moment, and then it was gone. And YouTube preserves it unless you delete it manually. Maybe that was some insecurity there that I need to get over. But I want to do things a little differently. I don't think that my gimmick here is about like starting with a blank image and doing a finished piece every time. I think I just want to like maybe do a shorter stream, maybe try to do a little bit more often, maybe probably sporadically, and then go on different topics, whatever interests me in the moment. Not everything will be like how to, but some of it maybe I'll talk about, you know, my why, I guess, the things that are interesting to me. Who knows? I don't know. We'll go to weird places. We'll see. But I'm not gonna. I don't think I'm gonna, you know, stick to like any kind of formula or anything. It'll be random. Your old streams were gold. Wow. I don't know about gold. Maybe like a pewter? Like, not bad. Thanks, Juno. 30 hours of meetings, Jamal. Yeah. Brutal. Yeah. I mean, I can do it. I loved my team at S6. I love being in meetings. Certain meetings, like, was like my favorite thing to do. Certain meetings throughout the week. I was not trying to play favorites or anything, but there were certain meetings with people that I thoroughly enjoyed, and it was a joy to work with those people. So, but at the end of the week, at the end of the day, I was just like, I can't make decisions at home. I can't speak correctly. I mean, it does a thing. It does a thing. 30 hours of meeting. But yeah, it's good to see you guys. You know, definitely if you guys have questions, I don't mean to ramble on too much longer. I'll get to the painting, but although you're kind of watching a painting, so I guess that's cheating. Yeah, if you guys have questions or thoughts or anything about Palia or anything that I talked about, I just kind of rambled for how long? 30 minutes. But yeah. So this is a painting that I shared on Instagram. I'm trying to do a little bit more like Instagram reels and videos because it's kind of fun just to throw like a time lapse on there. I've just been like, I've been doing the classic thing of starting a lot of sketches and then never finishing them. And maybe I'll show you guys another time, but I have a graveyard of images that I started and never finished that I just like, I got another idea, so I'll work on that, which is great. It's great to be like excited and motivated about the next thing, but at some time you got to go back to those and maybe finish them up, maybe fresh eyes on them. So I have a graveyard of images that just sit there. This was one of them that kind of sat for a little bit, but I decided to finish it up, record the whole thing instead of hiding, put it on Instagram, and it was fun. Yeah, it was a fun painting. All right. I'm also rediscovering the why of doing art. It's going to be exciting to keep up with you doing the same thing. Yeah, Danny. Yeah, totally. In fact, I did this workshop with Galeria Roja. That it seems like everyone's doing it. Yeah, I did a workshop there, a 3-day online workshop, and it's funny, they were all probably just like, just tell me how to paint the thing, or just tell me how to draw and make cool stuff. And the first day I just talked about finding your why and stuff that I actually talked with people that I did mentorship with years ago. Just kind of like going back, instead of looking outward to try to figure out what's inspiring to you or what you want to make, you look inward, you look at your past, you look at the things that inspire you. And kind of, I needed to, earlier this year, I needed to take my own advice on that, try to rediscover my why. So I love that. And I go on YouTube. I mean, this is a thing, but I go on YouTube and a lot of like concept artists that post, and it's all how to. It's like the 5 easy steps for doing this. And yeah, it's probably cool. It gets clicks. You know, it's great. But I think like no one talks about why. No one talk like I kind of want to bridge into like other subjects, you know, other than like what brushes I use and you know what I mean, the 5 easy steps and the 5 top 5 whatevers. There's so much of that out there, and the problem is like a lot of your audience then just becomes students or people that just want to learn, rather than touching on something that's pretty universal for anyone who's trying to like move towards any sort of creative field or new creative craft, right? So I think there's some universality to what artists like you guys, myself go through that can speak to everyone in some way. So I think that to me is really, really interesting and something I want to think about and explore a little bit more, rather than just, how to all the time. But also on the other hand, I want to learn. Like, I want to keep learning. I want to try throwing myself a curveball, trying to learn something new. So there's also that. I want to keep learning new things. So maybe I'll get to share some of that with you guys. The industry is tough right now. Any advice on navigating the treacherous 2024 games industry? It is tough right now. I mean, pretty historic layoffs, closures, mergers. When that like when the Blizzard Microsoft merger happened or the acquisition happened, everyone's like celebrating, or the Activision one, right? Everyone was celebrating, especially that one, because no love lost for Activision, but I knew the next thing was going to be a layoff. It's just got to be, yeah. It sucks, but it's been bad before. 2008 was a bad year. That was a big financial crisis going on. A lot of industries were affected. Gaming was affected, maybe a little less than other industries, but gaming certainly was affected. This is worse. This is worse than that. So, not a good time. How to navigate it? I don't have any wise sage advice. I honestly, I'm super privileged, super fortunate to, and this is how I feel, right? Like, being able to do what I do, I just feel so grateful and privileged to be able to do that, and maybe that's kind of why I'm here. It's just like, people are like at Lightbox and stuff, or people that ask me questions all the time about AI. They ask me about the industry. They ask me about all this stuff, and it's just like I don't really have any single point of advice, for any of this stuff on how to navigate it. But maybe this is exactly the time when we need a little bit more community. Maybe this is exactly the time for someone like me, who I feel that I'm quite lucky and privileged to have the experiences I have and have the opportunities I have, that maybe in some way I can help with the community, help with sharing my knowledge, things that I think are useful, big or small, so that folks who are inspired in some way, that they can find success with it and maybe find a career with it, or maybe find that they don't want to do it, and yeah, it could be that too, right? Could find that, hey, you know what, actually this ain't for me. It's like, and if I help them come to that realization, all right, I'm your guy. So I don't, Jamal, I don't really have anything. I don't really have any like one-liner here. I think the best thing, and this is just something that I've been thinking of, the best thing I could do is just rediscovering your why. Or like, if you can tap into like what really motivates you, like it's an unending, it's literally just an unending energy source of motivation. And if you have that, like, there's no saying what you could do. I believe that. And sometimes you discover it and you lose it and you got to rediscover it, and that's kind of where I'm at. So maybe I'll be thinking and talking about that a lot. I found why Now I need to find X. Very funny. Christos. Wow, I cannot say your last name. Is that your last name? Christos Braciszek. TJ. I've been in that workshop. Really enjoyed it. Even if I wasn't able to participate as much as the others. Oh. You were in the Gallery Roja. Oh, wow, awesome. Good to see you here. No Speak says, sure. Okay, got it. Subak. I think that's why I like listening to Steven Zapata's. I haven't caught too many of Steven's streams. But that's a good recommendation. Absolutely. The layoffs this year have been insane. The layoffs this year have been insane. The layoff last year has been insane. In fact, like GDC, I wasn't there, but I talk to a lot of people that are at GDC. The mood is just like, maybe next year will be better. And yeah. And that's literally why S6, our company, and Palia suffered, honestly. If 2024 was 2021, we would have gotten more funding and we would have been able to continue to grow the game and get it to a place it needed to be, honestly. But funding dried up, and at that point, you are in a life raft in the middle of the ocean, and whatever the money the game makes, that's what you get, and that's it. There was no more funding coming in, and that was true for us. That was true for a lot of startups that are trying to get made. It's true for a lot of game companies that needed a year and didn't get it. And then you've got, once you pull that rug from underneath, then it really exposes some harsh realities, like a Concord. Yeah, look at that. Oof. Can't say. I mean, maybe no. Hindsight's 2020. But yeah. But then what happens? These big corporations are doing fine. They're making money. I mean, when they lay people off, they're saving dollars. But what happens to all the people? They have families, people that needed that income to support themselves, people that needed that insurance. Usually doesn't go too well for them, unfortunately. But yeah, it's been rough. But hey, with layoffs, AI, all this, dysfunction in the country, in the world, everyone being so divisive, what a perfect time to just enjoy painting. Just to get back on streaming and just start chilling out to lo-fi music and painting trees. I can't think of a better time. I'm being somewhat coy and sarcastic, but you know what, it is true. I think maybe this is the time to get back to it if I can help people. That's the goal in the end of the day. Enix, for sure. A lot of my favorite artists seem to talk about finding meaning and making art. Very universal. Yeah. I mean, you go on ArtStation, you go on social media, you're just like inundated with other people's work, and if you're like me, you're like, I want to do that. Like, you see, I don't know, name any amazing artists that you see their work, and you're like, I want to do that. I want to do that too. I want to do that. And that's what I do. And then I just go to my desk and I kind of try to do that, and I go, I suck. But what I forget is, yeah, but what do I do? Right? That's cool that they do it. But what about, what do I do? Or are the things that I do that I thought I should do that isn't really me? Maybe. Yeah. Danny says, if your goals live streaming in 2019 were about gaining confidence, working in front of other people, what are your goals for starting back up now? I kind of went over that a little bit, just sort of the state of things. But one of it, one thing of it is like kind of the state of things right now. I think it's good to build communities and share thoughts and wisdom. And I see a little hole where people are talking about how and what and tips, and there's so much of that, but no one's asking why as much. And I don't know what that means. I don't know what that's going to turn into necessarily. I don't know how you make a TikTok out of that. But I'm not going to make TikToks. I don't think I'll ever make a TikTok. Well, probably never. Cool. AI art is killing everything. Well, I have a lot of thoughts about AI art. Some of you may agree, some of you may disagree. But I don't think AI art is killing everything. I don't think AI art will kill everything. I think it definitely is impactful, and it definitely will, with certain industries and certain jobs, will probably displace people. Probably. But it's a tool like any other tool. And behind that tool, you need an original creator, an artist. You need someone who's a storyteller, someone who understands design, has good taste, and those are still important. A machine can't do that. I mean, it's literally just regurgitating stuff that it's seen online. And it looks convincing, and if you want like a cool image that has no soul or story, you can make that. You can absolutely make that. But I'm curious to see where the future of AI goes, where it does then bridge that gap a bit more of letting the creator be creative and using their fundamental knowledge in the tool. I don't know what that looks like, but that could be more exciting. I don't know. I've explored a lot of AI tools just for fun. Honestly, because it takes like no effort. You just type some stuff in, and while you're painting, just type it in. Oh, cool. Interesting. Let's try this. I mean, it's zero cost. It's just like you're just spitting garbage out and just seeing how it ticks, right? I mean, know your enemy, right? It's kind of fun. I won't lie. It's kind of fun. Like my first time I tried AI generative art, it was like I got like a little dopamine hit out of it. I was like, whoa, that's interesting. What if I did this? Oh, and then you kind of run out of your like first dumb ideas, and then you start to get to like, okay, what is this really? And do I want to really spend that much time doing this? No. And maybe a good thing to think about is like, and which got me thinking too, is like, well, why do I paint? Why do I prefer painting over this? I mean, this is giving me that dopamine hit, and it costs nothing. Why would I do the thing that costs a lot? I would much rather do the thing that costs a lot. But why do I feel that way, right? There's that why again. Anyways. Subak. Networking and knowing people will probably help. Sure. It helps. Yeah. I guess. Rams, is this a dream? Jeremy live streaming. You're not dreaming. I feel like I'm dreaming. I'm tired. I have 2 kids. Just a minute ago, I was tucking my son into bed. I need a nap. Perseverance in Jeremy's stream. Wow, that's great. Nikita says, trust me, it did the trick for me. Jeremy's streams got me through college and led to a job. Been 5 years now. Congrats. That's amazing. That's amazing. Thank you so much. Any advice with networking? I'm too introverted. Well, so am I. Something I used to talk about a lot, I used to talk about in the streams, is fear, and how you sometimes as an artist you can be your own worst enemy. And it's in our social situations as well as in our artwork, especially in our artwork. There's a lot of fear that keeps you from going to the next And not saying that like I'm some expert. I'm saying it like I'm someone who deals with that and has found ways of getting around it or living with it. I'm too introverted. I'm also, yeah, both Lynn and I are pretty introverted people. Um, like if we're hanging out with just normal people, people that are not in our industry, I'm just like, I don't know what to talk about. How about that sports ball? I don't know. I don't know about that. And then if they're like, hey, I play games, I'm like, I play games too. Let's talk about video games. Or I could talk about my kids for like, I could bore you all to death about talking about my kids for the next like 5 hours. Those are my topics. Thanks for the stream. Gotta run. Oh, Danny, you're probably long gone because I'm way behind in the chat. But yes, have a good night. Feels like you answered my question about goals already, so thank you for that as well. When AI first came out, Junehouse says, when AI first came out, I just lost my most of my confidence in art, and I've been working on that. Yeah, I think the first time I saw it, I mean, I was definitely wowed by it. I was definitely like kind of excited, and I of course like got that dopamine hit. But then I just like had this like feeling of like dread, like, oh man, art is cheap now. It's so cheap, and I still feel that way. It absolutely cheapens art. It cheapens it so much. I mean, it's crazy now. Like posting on Instagram or whatever, or like, I don't know if they're trolling me, but some people are like, is this generated? And I'm like, what? I don't know. Maybe they're just trolling me. I don't know. Yeah. Is that a compliment? Does that mean it's so good? A computer must have done it. I don't know. It's just a weird world we're living in right now. But I don't paint for the. Honestly, I don't. Again, getting to the why. Why do I paint? One thing I love about it is just the doing of it, the act of it, like the flow state you get in, right? Is really exciting. I'm addicted to that flow state. All right. I'm way behind. Okay. Ram says, are the layoffs because of AI or entertainment industry, or is it just oversaturated in general? Part of what I think the layoffs, why they're happening is honestly like is a COVID bubble. So during COVID 2020, 2021, there was the games industry grew. It was a huge time for growth there. I remember just playing nonstop Animal Crossing when the pandemic happened, and Lynn was actually playing with me. We would sit on the couch and play on our Switches, Animal Crossing, and visit friends like islands and stuff. Yeah, I mean, there's so many more people staying in, so many more people playing games, and honestly, like the work from home move, definitely made finding labor, finding talent much easier because you're not, they don't have to be in location, they don't have to drive into work, they can work wherever. I mean, we were pretty quick actually switching over to a work from home setup at S6, and pretty quick at hiring people. Hiring was unlocked quite a bit when we did work from home options. It really did. I think it changed a lot, definitely in Silicon Valley, definitely in the tech industry, definitely in games. There's just a lot more. Work from home just made it easier to acquire more talent and to expand faster. There was also an influx of cash, and cash was cheap. Obviously, the interest rates were pretty low, very low interest rates. In 2020, 2021, it was like 2.7 or 3. I don't remember, but it was really low interest rate. That was before inflation as well. Although I don't think inflationary costs really do much for tech, honestly. It's affecting a lot of other industries, but not as much in tech. So you had this bubble. Like money was cheap. There were a lot of opportunities. Hiring was faster. There's just huge expansion and growth with the major game developers. So that bubble can't last. And unfortunately, big corporations take advantage of that. They know they can grow, they know they can lay off, so they take advantage of the market. And that's kind of what happened. We had a huge bubble in the gaming industry, and that's just not going to last. So as interest rates rose, as COVID numbers and people playing games declined, that was a pretty big confluence of I don't know, factors, I guess, that affected everything. So it was a lot of stuff, honestly. Plus, we had some pretty big mergers again because cash was cheap. You have all these big mergers, namely like Microsoft buying up companies. Sony was too, and there were a lot of other mergers that were going on. And usually when there's a merger, layoffs follow. True. Yeah, a lot of factors there. Excited seeing you stream again after so long. Thank you so much. Hope it's been a chill stream. It's been very chill. I'm not even painting anything. It's painting for me. I should just do this every stream. Here's the recording, and then I'll just ramble for an hour. Say yes if you want that. Oh my god, it's Zen? Wow, Zen, how are you? You look well, I look different, hopefully better. I'm definitely older. I probably look tired. Thank you, I guess. I don't know if that's a compliment. Jeremy, it's almost 1 a.m. to my time. All right, Jamal, if you're watching this later, have a good night. Come back again next time. It's good to see you. Renee, I think people for the most part know their why. It's just a matter of how. Maybe. I won't argue that. But it could be. Yeah, I mean, obviously, if you're starting out, you're definitely earlier in your career. I mean, the why question may just be my age, or you know what I mean. It may just be how long I've been at this. For people who are earlier in career, right, or learning, just learning, they're not focused on why. They're just like, how do I do that? And I can totally understand that. So I mean, everyone's in their own space, but I think everyone can benefit from like the understanding what their core motivations are. Subak, lol, TikTok might get yeah, TikTok might get banned. Oh, I'm so behind on chat. Okay, yeah, I gotta speed up. All my friends love your brush pack. Oh my god, from LCAD, Catherine Zhang. They love my brush pack. I gotta put some new ones up there. I don't even know if I use any of those anymore. I'm up to V9. Actually, more than that. Whatever. Well, I'm glad you like the brush pack. I should probably do another one of those. Maybe do a Gumroad. I don't know. Guys, I don't have time. I have 2 kids and a dog. I don't think I'm going to be able to do any of that. But thank you, Catherine. Nikita, hanging out with like-minded people works wonders. For us, introverts, we actually do get together and share what we're into. Then we can't be stopped. I like that attitude. It's great. Get all the introverts together, all sitting in their own corners, not talking. I love that. Solar, I think in a way of fear with AI is less so of losing the why of why we paint, but more the idea of losing positions like junior roles or just the worry of downsizing entire art departments. No, yeah, totally. I think I wouldn't say like AI I'm worried about losing my why or getting disillusioned about my why with AI necessarily. It's more just about how do we navigate this future with AI, how AI exists. And it's not really a question unique to art, although it's really affecting artists. Yeah, it's just how do we navigate this future? I don't know. We'll figure out together. And, you know, the economic issues of people losing positions. I honestly haven't seen that in games. So I work in games. I have not seen AI have any effect on games. Now, maybe you guys in the chat, maybe somebody knows and can correct me on that, but I haven't seen it. I've seen it, you know, definitely in some in animation, some in visual effects. Definitely a lot of visual effects. Not as much in concept art games, from what I've seen. I've been using AI to get some character visualized really fast. Now I have the urge to actually draw them myself. I think, honestly, my opinion, I think if you want to use AI for reference, totally fine. I think that's fair. Like it's no different than looking at other people's art, no different than, you know, going in Pinterest, right? Whatever you want to do. Honestly, I use it as an art director tool because, like, I don't got time. I'm in between meetings, so I'll just type in some stuff, be like, that's a neat direction, send it to the team, be like, can we do something sort of ish like that? This palette. It's a great way to quickly communicate. It has its uses. You can use it ethically. You don't have to. It doesn't. I mean, the thing that we always hate, and I hate, is just seeing like somebody just generate something, maybe paint over it a little bit, and say it's their work. I don't like that. I hate that, and I wish people would just be honest about that when they do it. If they want to be an AI artist, I would say AI tech engineer. I don't know, AI something. AI engineer, I think, is an actual role. Maybe, but you need creative intent. You can't like type in a prompt that says, you know, make me a landscape with trees and a boat and a lake, painted by someone who has, you know, horrible repressed memories as a child. You can't make Zidal Beksinski through AI. You can't recreate that. You know, you can't make any of the artists that I see on the book. You can't create that. You can only copy that. Right? That's a big difference. Darnell Tolliver. Oh my god. Sorry I missed your name. I am way behind in the chat. What's up, Darnell? Man, it's like the old gang's back together. Zen says, I'm an old man. That's great. Jeff J. TJ Astrobot. Wait, what? Is that the Game Awards? Okay, no spoilers. I didn't watch it yet. We could just watch that and I'll just talk over that. I'll probably get flagged for everything. Wait, I can't tell if you can't remember me. Yeah, I remember you. Of course I do. Renee at Jeff J. Weirdest pick for Game of the Year. Oh no, are we okay? Should I keep reading? John Doe says, wow, what a privilege to catch you live. Your name has been passed around a lot. Oof. I don't know how I feel about that. John Doe, I thought it was too late for the Fensky party, but here it is. Yeah, glad to have you, John Doe. How do you paint faster, says Zen. Also, is it like 10 years now? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's been a long time. I talked about how long it's been since my last stream. It's almost like 2,000 days. It's been a long time. Well, Nikita, did you have a different username? Maybe. All right. Discord is in decline as a platform. I wouldn't know. I did post on there that I would be streaming, hoping that the old gang would get back together. Solar, I'm in games. and have heard of it in spheres over in Korea and China. Thankfully, not too much in games in the Western sphere at the moment. It's popped up in discussions though at the place I'm at. Oh, it has popped into discussions. Okay. The use of AI, I'm assuming. The use of AI in China. I hear, yeah, it's definitely been used a lot. My honest assessment is it's gonna be bottom of the barrel, regurgitated, nothing original stuff. But who knows? What was that game that came out that was like where you could like make Pokemon work for you? I remember when that game came out, we're like, this is like all AI generated. It's all like copyright. They're just ripping assets and putting it in a game. But yet it like sold really well. It's gonna drive me nuts. Someone remind me. Pal World. Thank you. Pal World. Thank you. It was kind of fun. I don't know. Yeah. Everyone was like, oh, we gotta make a Pal World now. Don't. Most of the accusations weren't true. Okay. Pal World Redemption. I think at Riot they also had some Gen AI positions open for their internships quite recent. Yeah. Yeah, totally. I could see that. In fact, when I was like, when I was art directing and I was using, some stuff here and there just to generate ideas, I was like, yeah, I could see a role potentially like, hey, give me like hundreds of ideas on this one thing. Someone could sit there and just like hit, okay, type this in, maybe modify it. Okay. But what kind of life is that, guys? What kind of life is that? Wow, Jer, so cool to see you painting and streaming again. The scaling of your details is neat. Scaling. What does that mean? I don't know. You gotta teach me, man. You gotta teach me what you mean by that. Is this stream also on Twitch? No. I don't believe in Twitch anymore. Pal World, just a lot of Pal World love in the chat. Jamal says they did rip off Pokemon, but at least they hired real designers to copy them. Okay, great. Some real original thinking going on over there, isn't it? Okay. Pal World devs said that they used AI for the concepts of the pals and they 3D modeled them. I believe it. I believe all of the. I would believe all of the UI was probably generated as well. Which I could see, like, if you're in the UI on stylized games or mobile games, I could see that very quickly going over to the robots. Sorry. But how do we do it? How do we adapt to it? Because you know what? It's inevitable. I mean, we can gripe about it, but there's some inevitability. Do not expect politicians and the government to regulate this. They don't even understand it. They're still trying to figure out MySpace, Facebook. They don't have a clue. And it's not going to get any better anytime soon. So yeah. I'm here with all the positivity. I'm here with all the positivity. But, we're going to figure it out. Because there's not an original idea in those. As pretty as they are. Sometimes they're pretty. Nothing original. Catherine Jang, have you seen Marvel Rivals? I still play Overwatch, and a lot of the Overwatch people like Marvel Rivals. I haven't tried Marvel Rivals. I haven't even looked at it. I kind of got back into Overwatch this year. Yeah, kind of this year, earlier this year. That like kind of like summer. I was just like I haven't played this in like I don't know a year or two, and I was like, man, it's great. This is the best Overwatch ever has ever been. It plays so good right now. I love it, and I still like it, and I've been playing it a lot. And then the new character Hazard came out, and it's just like I was gonna stop playing because I was like, okay, I gotta focus on other things, not Overwatch, raging at people on there. But then Hazard came out, and I was like, oh my god, this is so good. So freaking good. I love this character. I want to just main this character now, and oh man, I'm gonna be stuck there again. But I'm also I'm trying to play some games here and there because I'm like years behind in games. Years. I've been playing Hogwarts Legacy for like a year now because that's how long it's taken me to get through this game. I bought God of War, played like just the beginning. Oh my god, Zelda. I still have that. I barely got anywhere in that game. The new Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Which reminds me, I wanted to well, I won't say it. I hate saying things too early. I wanted to do another Zelda piece. That's Tears of the Kingdom. But I was like, I feel like I've lost that wave at this point. Government is a lot of the cause. Blanket statement, true. Or lack of cause. As long as AI doesn't figure out hatching, we'll be safe. What? Like cross hatching? Oh, I got bad news for you. Nikita says, honestly, noticed an evolution in Jeremy's personal art style, like a refinement over the previous pieces. I remember you used to talk about how it takes a lot more time to learn to simplify. Yeah. Yeah, sometimes spending more time in a painting means that you're just editing and simplifying. Jamal says, I just find it hilarious, for lack of a better word, that the first thing they use AI for is to try to replace creatives. I know, I thought like the AI revolution was going to replace like data entry jobs. Maybe we don't need accountants anymore. Sorry, accountants. Nothing personal. But it'd be great to just like type in a thing and the taxes are done for you. You don't have to like go back and forth and talk about it. I thought it would simplify other parts of our life, which it has in some ways. Like if you're on ChatGPT, there's like some neat things, like organizational things you can do. But man, going right after us? Not cool. Not cool, robots. Not cool, tech bros. I don't like them. Don't like them very much. I think generally people. Oh god, I'm gonna get like, you guys are all gonna leave. I think generally people have bad taste in art. Like really bad taste in art. So when they see it, they're like, that's so cool. Why do we need artists? Get out of here. And they kick you out, and then they just type in, you know. But what I'm noticing, which is really funny, or sad, or I don't know what, if you do any Google search, like Google search anything, anything you would like look for reference for, I guarantee you a majority of those images are AI images now. That's how flooded Google images and search algorithms are, because it's like new stuff, like new images with new subjects like puppies or firefighters, whatever, right? It's all like AI now. Like, it's crazy. So AI is now going to be learning from itself. So it's going to be like this snake eating its own tail kind of thing. This is the future we live in. Jamal, I quit Overwatch forever. Lol, Overwatch 2 ruined the game for me. Hey, it's alright. Everyone can have their opinion. I did play the Overwatch Classic though when they did that, and that was fun for like a couple hours. And then I'm like, wow, it's bad. It's fun. It's stupid, but it plays way better now. I don't know. Just my thing. Overwatch main for me, I've got like literally maybe 1,000 hours on Zarya, close to 1,000 hours. Zarya is the number one pick. Then Winston, then probably Winston, Diva, Mei. I play a lot of Mei. Mei's the best. Mei is so good in Overwatch Classic. It's just so broken. I was giddy with excitement. Just freezing people everywhere. Everyone forgot how to deal with those cheeses. Anyways. I have Dwarf Fortress. I have Dwarf Fortress guy. Oh man. That's a serious game. I've never played it before. I think you need like a degree to play that game. Please make some studio vlog also. Wait, what's a studio vlog? I don't even know what that is. I know what a vlog is, I think. But what's a studio? Oh, like I don't know. Explain. I've done more traditional art than ever before the past few years. Junhao. That's awesome. Get away from the screen. Get some brushes out. Make some mess. Good for you. And go outside too. It's good to go outside. Be at one with nature. Hogwarts Legacy is so good, man, says Catherine Chang. You know what? I have to say, not a big fan of J.K. Rowling, whatever, but whatever. The developers did an amazing job in that game. So good. It's gotten me, like, back into Harry Potter in a weird way. I don't know. I kind of like totally like Harry Potter. I totally missed the boat because when those were coming out, like the movies and the books, I was like, that's kid stuff. I was like too cool. I was into the Matrix and Lord of the Rings, real grown up stuff. And I was like too old for that. So I didn't read the books. I didn't watch any of the movies. And then I remember I was in college. I went on a date with this girl to see Other Life. I went on a date with this girl. We went to see Goblet of Fire, Harry Potter. I knew nothing about Harry Potter. She was a big Harry Potter fan. And the first movie that I saw was Goblet of Fire. And I was like, this is stupid. I mean, there's a couple cool parts. I guess there's a dragon and stuff, but kind of dumb. Had I started with Prisoner of Azkaban, I probably would have loved the movies because that movie is fantastic. But that put me off it for years. And then, like, I think when the last movies were coming out, I went and saw the last movie, and I was like, I don't know, it's dark. I thought it was a kids movie. Why is it so dark? And then it was like I think when the last movie came out, then I kind of went back and watched them all, and I was like, these movies are great. They're actually not bad. And Goblet of Fire is probably the worst one. And I love the first movie. I love it when they're young and it's innocent and light, and there's like actual sets. Those first two movies are great. Well, the first movie is really great. Anyways, let's move on. Yeah, but I'm enjoying Hogwarts Legacy. It's really good. Really, really good. Man, they killed it. They did a hell of a job. Watched the Fallout show, and it's prompting me to play games again. The Fallout show is really good. I actually really liked that one. That was good. Elden Ring ? Oh yeah, I played. Yeah, okay. I left that one out. I should have wrote that down in my 2023. What did I do in 2023? I can't start streaming. I got Elden Ring. What am I doing? I don't know. I played through that many times. Did all the builds, all the stuff. Yeah, I played that a lot. Well, I've been back to playing Stardew and started Supermarket Simulator. Oh man. I check in on Stardew like once a year. That's my thing. I just pop it on Switch to see, like, hey, what's going on? Because like he keeps adding stuff. I love Stardew. It's classic. Environmental. Oh, haven't lost the way. Vote for the Zelda painting. Yeah. Thank you, Solar. Yeah, maybe I'll consider it. Arclight. I'm one of the few that thought the Fallout show wasn't amazing. It's meh to me, and I'm a Fallout fan too. I could see that. I mean, there's some deviations to the source material, but I just thought it was fun. I just thought it was entertaining. And that's all. That's all I really want. Just want something fun. Oh, great! My tablet drivers are all messed up. Drivers real quick. Ooh, my computer is not having fun. Huh. I don't know what's going on. Maybe I won't get to paint anything. All right, let me speed through this chat and then I'll figure out what's going on. Oh, there it is. Let me restart my drivers. Man, getting back into like painting and Photoshop and Wacom and Windows. None of those programs like to talk to each other. I'm having to restart my drivers all the time. It's real buggy. Photoshop's gotten so buggy too, man. Oh. Maybe I need to get on Clip Studio or Procreate. What am I doing? All right. Just a reminder, if AI, John and Sarah Connor didn't let AI get them down. That's very true. Skynet is coming. Google's Solar says Google search with AI tacked to the end of the search. AI tacked onto the end or search before 2022. That's a very good idea. But then it's just like, oh, man, it's such a singularity. It's like the point before AI is going to be like good old days. Crazy. Different people perceive art differently, and most don't look closely as the people that make it. Of course, yeah. I think there are just some people who are a little bit more visually articulate when they look at work. They can kind of see what's going on. All right. Why is things slowing down? Okay, thank you. How's the stream? Oh, stream's dead. Oh no, did my Wacom drivers do something? Not sure what to do. Am I back? Hello? Am I back? Stream is fine now. Okay, it must have been when I was updating my drive or restarting my drivers for Wacom. Thanks, Wacom. All right. Let me go back. Let me go back. Okay. Okay, I'm watching the stream. We're good. All right. So maybe I'll sketch something. I don't know. Sorry, guys. Let me try to let me see real quick. Jeremy went from dark fantasy to colorful fantasy. Is that true? I want to go back to dark stuff. I love dark stuff. I got this book. I got really into it. I went on a weird Junji Ito kick recently. Maybe it's just like during Halloween. I just get into like my dark place. Look at that. Whoa. You want some dark? There's some dark. Yep. Some dark. Okay. I'll do some colorful dark, whimsical dark. I'm thinking about jumping into Clip Studio 2. Tried Procreate, and its UI is so different from Photoshop that I was struggling the whole time. Yeah, I was having a hard time too with that. Yes, you're back. Yes, you're back now. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you do switch to Clip Studio, please give a mini review. I've been thinking about switching to. I don't know. I'm just so like attached to Photoshop because of all little tricks and stuff there. Stream is back now, and I realize my video is just replaying the same portion over and over again. All right. Are you guys still here? How's the stream? Good. Can I start redrawing? Oh, buddy. Here we go. So this is from the graveyard. This one. We're still here. Okay, good. Thank you, guys. This is from the graveyard. Maybe I'll work on this for a minute. But I'm going to take a quick break, get something to drink, and I'll be right back. Right. All right, let's sketch something. If I missed your question, or if I missed your question, just re-input it. I guess I don't know. I may miss things. May just repeat it over and over again. Get my attention. Are you back into streaming? I still watch your older streams from time to time. Been studying a lot from them. Thank you. Wow. You are one of those people that I am seeing are still watching those old. So, thank you. I'm glad you guys are getting a lot out of those old streams. I mean, there's not really. I don't know what kind of resources are out there today without paying money. I mean, there's probably not a whole lot of resources where you can watch someone paint live and talk about their stuff while they're painting, especially. Maybe there probably is. I don't know. Yeah, finally, a good reason to wake up early. Glad to see you back, man. Robbie Cope. Wow. That sounds familiar. I think you were watching the older streams, right? If anyone is here who used to join on Twitch or YouTube years ago, just say me. Say something. I'm curious how many people are new versus how many people are returning. I'm sure for some of you, especially the beginning of the stream when I was just rambling, if you're new, you'd probably be like, I don't care. What are you doing? I want to hear about your life. So, let me shrink my head down a little bit. Me. Thank you, Junhao. Twitch has a lot more art streams. I don't know. Should I be on Twitch? Or should I honestly don't know. Like I am a boomer. Is that what they say now? I'm a boomer now. I don't know. Is Twitch better? I was in your workshop a while ago. Watch your old streams on YouTube, though. Ha, okay. All right. Your name is very familiar. Although the 3D art side sucks nowadays, I find it hard to find experts because they don't have the time to do Twitch streams. That's true. Neither do I. I don't have time. I should be going out right now. Yeah, I totally feel that. It's just it is exhausting to do that. I'm actually really happy to see my buddy Sung Choi. You guys know Sung Choi, really amazing artist. He's streaming on Twitch. I keep missing it. He only streams on Wednesdays. I really want to join and bug him on one of his streams. He's amazing. He's one of my favorite painters. He worked. Well, I know him because he worked on Destiny back when I was doing stuff with them. And man, when I saw his paintings, like that he was doing for Destiny, I was like, whoa, is that Jamie Jones? It's not Jamie Jones. It's Sung Choi. He's amazing. He's the best. So definitely check him out. You can multi-stream on both Twitch and YouTube. Yeah, but okay, baby steps. I mean, I could barely get this stream together. And it's kind of. This is just a test. Maybe I'll go back to that. Okay, guys, I actually need to restart Photoshop. I'll be right back. All right, let's try it again. Hello, we're back. So something I was really into, and you guys probably have noticed this with some of the work that I've been posting. I just got really into like, again, it was like kind of like look, and I talk about this in one of my workshops, but I was kind of like looking in like my history, childhood moments and stuff. Like what's something that inspires me, and this idea of like finding an abandoned, broken down something in the forest was like really interesting. So it's kind of a topic I've been like, obsessing over in my personal work. A little bit. Obsessing, maybe extreme. I don't know. It's something I've been playing around with a lot. So I think Lynn should join our streams too. I've been really obsessing over like this idea of like crashed planes. I don't know why. Like crashed, like abandoned mech or human-made, man-made structure, and then like kids finding it and climbing over it, and then there's like some whimsy on top. This is one I did. This is I did this one for the Gallery Roja demo. For the Gallery Roja demo. That was fun. And then I did for Imagine Effects. This guy did like a, I don't know what issue that was, but just one of the Imagine Effects things. Did like a tutorial for this. So I've kind of been in this thing, and it's I've got other sketches, kind of work in progress. Of course, I got a hefty graveyard of stuff that isn't finished. But then it's kind of turned into like these mechs. So like maybe instead of like planes, it's like some future sci-fi mech, alternate human history kind of stuff. I really love Machine and Krieger style, so I'm always dipping into Machine Krieger stuff. All right. I used to watch you on Twitch before bedtimes. Man with no screen name, really? That's great. YouTube is better because everyone uses that in the first place. That's what I'm thinking too. It's pretty easy for everyone to just get on YouTube. I mean, there's ads. I don't know. Everyone has ads. Twitch has ads, especially at the start. It's kind of annoying. And they have a lot of ads. A lot. Yeah, you're right. A lot of ads. Everyone doesn't use YouTube live streams though. Yeah, the tricky thing with that is just live streams are thrown in with like every other video, and no one really wants to watch a 3-hour video, so they tend to not be favored. I went to your world building brainstorm class back when the pandemic hit. How? Great to see you again. Great to have you here. Thanks for joining the class. Hopefully it was good. Things art is killer. The artist name is Sung Choi. Yeah, but yeah, I think you mean the same one. Especially the Destiny stuff. Yeah, I mean, it's Destiny stuff. I am nowhere near as good. He's like another level. I used to have him come in and demo for my brainstorm class. I don't know if you remember that, but yeah, it's Sung Choi come in and do like a demo and talk about his process. And one thing that I learned from him was like how much work and thought he puts into before he even draws anything, which I thought was really cool and like super disciplined. And yeah, I don't know, there's just a lot of cool stuff I learned from him for sure. Some paleo art for the loading screen. I think the colors on this one are really nice. Love the orange green combo. Really appreciate how you're always able to keep a lot in the painting, rougher or simpler, but it still captures the essence of it all. Thank you, Solar. Was the corgi in this one for Lynn? Oh, Is it for Lynn? Yeah. Yeah, sure. Yeah. I guess that's one way. That's one thing. I guess. Well, I mean, I have a corgi, so but I guess a lot of that's been Lynn's influence on me, certainly. Is I love to throw just random corgis in images sometimes. I don't know if you guys remember the old live stream paintings. Sometimes I try to fit a corgi in there somewhere. The thing I do now, I do it on work stuff, but I throw in QR codes now, which is kind of a funny thing to do. I think I'm gonna keep throwing QR codes in all my images somewhere. maybe someone will find it and scan it, and I'll steal all their information. I don't know why more people aren't doing that. And there's some interesting stuff that I want to try that I'm not showing today, but we're kind of hiding subliminal messages in paintings. QR codes? Yeah, QR codes. All right. So this one I started with some lines, just kind of I don't know, inspired by some shapes. The forest stuff is like whatever. I feel like I can do that automatically. It's the mech stuff that's like it's tough for me. That's always like anything, you know. I'm since I've been working with Squanch Games, we've been doing a lot of like mech sci-fi stuff. So that's just been on my mind a lot in drawing. So I wanted to like take that stuff, put it in the forest all overgrown, right? Sort of based on the Crash Planes. So I just started with the lines, get a rough idea of the shape. Then I do like my Noton. I talk about Noton a lot, but just like a real simple, efficient way of just blocking in your shadows. This wasn't so much strictly just shadow; it was kind of just a lot of like the secondary layer of information. And I've really been into I have for a long time been into using the Wacom. It's a Wacom art pen. I take the rubber bit off, but yeah, it's the pen with the little chisel tip. It's got like a wedge chisel on the front. But what's cool about it is you can like grab this brush. Maybe it's this one. Yeah, with this one you can actually rotate the pen, swivel it to change the direction of the brush. So like this, and you can like start to like chunk out and model out forms, like hard surface forms, pretty quickly. Been really into that. So like if I wanted to, I could just sort of even use shift to like chunk in this shape. Of course, I always use a little bit of smoothing. Smoothing kind of it's like lazy, lazy Nizumi used to be before that. Now they're smoothing. Just crank up the smoothing to about probably like 16, 13 to 16. I tend to hang around there. But yeah, get like nice, clean, smooth lines. Yeah, I love this. It's just so addicting to like sketch and model out forms with this, and you don't have to worry about pen tilt. You just rotate the pen to get that feel. So yeah, that's where that sketch came from, and then I block in my values. I mean, values like the most important part. So just getting some grayscale values in there, and then as I do, lock all those layers down, and then start to just paint color directly in. And that's kind of where I'm at with the painting. This is kind of what I would consider like a block-in phase, sort of. Um, so usually at this point, I really like. At this point, it's just paint it out, just finish it. A lot of the heavy lifting and thinking is pretty much done, and now it's just a matter of continue blocking in these elements. I kind of adjusted the aspect ratio a bit, so that's why it's a little got some gaps down here. Yeah, suggest some stuff here. Too bad art pen is impossible to find now. Is it really? Bit of smoothing goes a long way. I agree. That's anatomically incorrect, Corgi. It doesn't have a giant dumpy. What are you talking about? If by dumpy, I think you mean butt. Yeah, they do. My Corgi's got a fluff butt. Yeah, the Corgi statue. You remember. You remember. Sketchy. Why'd you change your name? It's confusing me. Sketchy. A little bit of smoothing goes a long way. Agree. Your mic isn't picking up your voice so well when you move your mouth away a bit. Ah, that's a good note. Thank you. I decreased the gain and increased the gating just to try to like block out outside noises where I can. So that may be what it is. Maybe I just need to keep talking a little closer. Thanks. Yeah, just let me know if that's slipping again. Sometimes I'll talk quiet. Cool. I heard about this wedge pen before though, so I'll check it out. Too bad the art pen's hard to find. Sorry to hear that. I was wondering if your Noton Pass also includes light direction already, or if it mainly focuses on ambient occlusion. It could be both or either or details. I mean, it's anything that's if I think of Noton, it's just anything that's grouped into shadow, whatever that is. That could be anything. Maybe the details group things into shadow. Maybe the lighting groups things into shadow. Who knows? I'm gonna head out. Have a good stream. See you, Sketchy. It's good to have you here. All right. Oh, Wacom discontinued the pen. Bummer. I like that it's a bit thicker too. Good for my hands. I was thinking about putting a waterfall back here. Of course, I want to put a waterfall back here. Just kind of adds to the magic of it. I changed my name because I made a different account with different art. Oh, okay. Got to put a waterfall in the forest. That's So I talked a lot about what I was up to the last 5 years. What have you guys been up to the last 5 years? Anything fun happen? I promise you, I've been up to no good these last 5. That's good. Man with no screen name. Well, it sounds like you haven't been bored, and that's the most important part. As long as you're not bored, live a life of lots of experiences. Just don't be bored. Sometimes I think about like when I was younger, like, oh, remember being bored? I don't remember what that's like anymore. I haven't been bored. Sometimes I want to be bored though. It's been a real treat seeing your streams again. Yeah, thank you, Solar. Thankfully, still in the same place despite all the layoffs the last 2 years. That's really great. Yeah, that's good. Fingers crossed. Yeah, that's awesome. Discover any new books, TV shows, series over the past years? I think we talked about games or travels. Not much traveling. Uh, Next year there'll be some traveling, but this, yeah, not other than like seeing family, which is good. But yeah, that doesn't count. Yeah, I wish I was doing more traveling. That's for sure.
stuff. Honestly, like I've been listening to the Harry Potter audiobooks because I haven't read those books before. So I take whenever I walk the dog, I listen to that. That's my walking mochi music. Just listening to those books. Kind of cool. I never really went through them because those were like those are baby stories. I never, when I was younger, I thought that, so I just totally passed up on them. But yeah, that's good. And then, oh my gosh, I don't know. Movies are like there's a million, bazillion that I've watched in the last 5 years. Nothing life changing, I think. Graduated from June House's graduated from college during the pandemic, got hired for 2 years, and has been jobless since last year. And just doing a couple of contract works from the people I meet from some events. Are you in animation? Like, are you a viz dev artist that way? Yeah, I agree. I hope you're able to find something long term soon. I know a lot of people in animation are running into some trouble, and it's not just you. I mean, just a lot of people have been dealing with this. I remember, yeah, Lightbox was like that. It was a lot of people just looking for work, out of work, or like they want to move out of LA, and I kind of don't blame them because I kind of want to move out of LA too. Like, what are we doing here? Um, yeah, just a lot of people struggling for sure. Yeah, you're not alone. Certainly not alone. But yeah, I hope you get something soon. I hope you got friends, people that can help you, support you. It's good to have that community. Sure. Yes, animation, TV. Yeah, yeah. I really don't know. Like, I kind of know games. I don't really know animation that well. Like, how much? Like, is AI affecting? Is AI the reason, or is it, or is for the lack of work out there, or is it mainly because of the COVID bubble and studio closures and money money issues, like what I'm seeing in gaming? Kind of need to cut a hole here. Not in animation, but I've done the unemployment thing before, so there's hoping for you, Junhao. Yeah, it's great, good encouragement. I had a medical problem that didn't allow me to do art professionally for about 3 years, and recently I've been doing my portfolio to try to get a proper job in the game industry. Wow. Oh man, I'm glad you're feeling better. I'm glad you're getting back into it. That's tough. That's really tough. Yeah, 3 years. It comes back. It's like riding a bike. Yeah, good to hear you're getting back into it. Darnell, still working on art, but I've been doing independent route.
learning animation and other than that, working as a pastry chef in training. Been fun using art and cooking in tandem. Want to work more indie. That's cool. That's great. I mean, I love that attitude. Certainly sometimes easier said than done, but I do like it when it's, instead of waiting for an opportunity, creating your own opportunities. Instead of waiting for other people to acknowledge you, you go out and you do your own thing. I think that's great. You got the passion, the excitement, and you got an idea. There's very little that stands in your way, honestly, with the way tools are today. Just gotta be real disciplined. It's hard. It's the hard route for sure, but definitely make your own opportunities, create your own opportunities. The way I like to think about it. Who cares about other people, what they think, or getting seen by others? Don't be dependent on others' opinions. Do your own thing. I'm all about that. And I love that you're doing still in the chef industry. Being a chef is awesome. That's great. You already have a career, which is so cool, and it's also pretty creative. I'd say. I've never been a chef, but I imagine it's very creative. I think that's an interesting thing to point out too. That there's just so many different things that you can do out there that are creative that also kind of scratch that itch. I mean, I worked as an art director for years. Like building teams, mentoring people, like managing. I really get a lot of fulfillment out of that, and it's creative in a different way. It's not creative like doing art, but it's creative in its own way, and I grew to really appreciate that. I grew to really appreciate producers too and the work that they do, because I had to do that early on and without any help. So, yeah, I just learned to appreciate other disciplines. That's one thing I learned from my experience at S6 and just like working on Palia, especially from the ground up, is just how much I appreciate and took for granted other disciplines. And I've just been in like I was always in like the concept art bubble, like just get good bubble, and didn't really stop to realize that oh my god, there's so many other roles, there's so many other like parts to production that are important and also creatively fulfilling. So yeah, I can kind of get stuck on our thing, and that's fine, if you're into it. But it's good to look at other industries too. If you want to make yourself valuable, certainly like expanding your skill sets and learning other skills is a great way to do that. Don't make yourself replaceable. Sure. I had a friend who worked as a background painter, and he left ultimately not due to the pay, but just due to the crazy crunch they were forcing people into, talking about 10 plus paintings a day. Whoa. That must have been like, I don't know, like Simpsons quality? I don't know. It's like, that's insane. 10 a day? Oh my gosh. I feel like indie is the way to go now, Arclight says. That's true. Pale looks good, although I thought it leaned a bit into the generic stylized art style most people try to do. Yeah, so that's interesting. It's a thing that you go through when, because the goal of the game is to
the goal of the game early on was to get as much wide appeal as possible. And if you're going for wide appeal, you're probably not going to go for like the most niche art style. You probably are going to go for something that's understandable to a wider audience, especially with the characters. With other areas in the game, yeah, you can make statements here and there about your environments or about the way you handle your prop design and stuff like that. But certainly that was an intentional idea. Try to appeal to as many people as possible. And people get very particular about art style, so it kind of went the safe route with characters for sure. Yeah. It may not be for everybody, but it has to be. It just can't be unappealing to too many people, I guess. Yeah, I'm a lot of my design philosophy, I guess, or art direction philosophy is based on this idea of making statements. So like making a statement is like making like a choice for some element in the design to really stick out. Like, and this is just kind of particular to me. Like for this painting, and for instance, like the statement is this sort of mecha and this story. I'm not trying to make a statement with the waterfall. I'm not trying to make a statement about all the plants. And if I was trying to make too many statements or trying to make everything, super original, like the whole starts to fall apart and you quickly lose your audience. So I really like bringing people in with something familiar and then leading them down a road of unfamiliar once you got them hooked. And especially for what we were thinking with Palia, it was totally that 100% that the original intention was, yes, we're a cozy sim game, yes, we do all these things, but man, the places you'll go in the world, the things you'll see, the things you'll do, the stories, those are where we're going to make our statements. And unfortunately, we just couldn't make those. We couldn't fully realize them. So this is how it goes. But I think for me, especially, that's some of the burnout too. Was like trying to continue realizing those efforts that we wanted to do early on, and that just wasn't the priority anymore. Especially with like art, which tends to fall lower in priority when you got a live service game going. So, yeah, that's the reality of it. Part of an art style can also be influenced / limited by the engine you're working in. I enjoy Paleo style. By the way, Bahari is lovely. I hear there's a new biome being released soon. Yes, yeah. Yes and no. I think certainly like we certainly had some engine limitations for sure, just because we were creating one code that goes out to all platforms, including Switch. And once you're on Switch, which is 2 gigs of RAM or 4 gigs of RAM, that is you basically have to design and create around that constraint. Now, does that mean it constrains you on your art style? Not necessarily. I mean, you can express a wide variety of art styles even at a lower engine spec, right? But yes, there are definitely some tools, some shaders, things that I would have loved to take advantage of that we just couldn't because of our min spec requirements. Not to get in the weeds too much, but yeah. But that isn't necessarily like art direction, right? You can still art direct a good-looking game at very low speed. That's totally possible, and that's the challenge, right? Is like understanding what your end spec is, what your limitations are, and then creating the best thing with those constraints, working with your constraints rather than fighting against them. Certainly, yeah. So I agree with both of you. Yeah. Any like shortcomings with art style? I mean, that's the wrong way to put it, because everything is just sort of like based on opinion. It can't really necessarily be blamed on the engine limitations. But of course, like some techniques and stuff that I wish we could have taken advantage of, we just couldn't, and it would have made things look really good. Yeah, Switch optimization, yeah, and still it runs at how many frames? Yeah. We tried. Talking games and art directing. Oh my god. Wild Jeremy stream. It's been ages. Oh, I know it has, hasn't it? Well, thank you guys for hanging out. Wow, we're 2 hours and 15 minutes in. We're kind of just getting into it now. Thank you guys so much for coming out, hanging in there the whole time. I really appreciate it. Seriously. And I'm kind of like half brain working through this right now. So I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I think people are too fast to blame the engine. Yeah, I mean, Unreal is so good. There's like a lot you can do with it at any spec. Engineers, programmers will complain about the engine. Valid complaints, though. Valid complaints. Tech art also. I have a lot of complaints about Unreal. I'll say that. What they put in their releases and what they show in their demos, there's some custom stuff going on there. It doesn't work out of the box like they say it does. Maybe if you're making a prototype, sure, but making like an actual shipping game, it's a whole nother thing. I don't want to get into it. I would say blame the engine, but it's still something to consider, in my opinion. Just because sometimes a cool effect shader, etc., might not be possible in the engine without some new coding. Yeah, and that's why you need graphics engineers, you need tech artists that make that thing happen, who really understand what's happening under the hood. The out of the box stuff just doesn't work the way you think it does.
as a hobbyist in Unreal, totally fun. It's Nanite and Lumen everything. You can do that actually. Nanite and Lumen's so good. Just not gonna run on Switch. It's not gonna run on an old Switch. I don't mean you specifically, but there's a lot of gamers who play the engine. Yeah, of course. I don't take it that way. You're right. I hear your point and I agree. Yeah. Darnell, I was a caricature artist for a little while. To over 2 years. I think I remember you drawing caricatures, maybe at a CTN or something years ago. Using drawing to entertain or make memories was really fun. Getting involved in parties with free food. Hey, this is a nice bonus. I agree. I have a friend that did caricatures. That seemed kind of cool. I don't know. I'm not that kind of artist. I would be terrible. Yeah. Sometimes I say that. I'm not that kind of artist.
Draw me a cute character. Do you mind if that cute character is like a little creepy? I can maybe do that. Lynn does the cute stuff. I don't know. Not that kind of artist.
Tech artists are math magicians.
Yeah. I love working with tech artists. Yeah. Just like, I'm always like, can we do this? And they're like, yeah, it depends. I feel like that was always their answer. It was like, yeah, it depends. What about if we did this? Yeah, it depends. Okay, cool. Yeah, and I only talk about Palia in past tense because I am no longer there. But there's still a crew there. Palia got acquired by Daybreak. When was that? July, August, around there. Yeah, so they're doing good actually. They're a much smaller team now, but I think it's actually really good. And ironically, I'd probably have a pretty fun time actually with the smaller team size that they're at right now. Ironically. They're in good hands. Got good people there. I really hope the game continues and becomes super successful. And with game development at that level, it's like you can do anything, just can't do everything. So what you do, if it's fewer things, each decision has a lot more weight to it. But I'm really enjoying Squanch games right now. So I really love what they're doing. Cannot wait to show you guys what's going on. It's gonna be great.
Is it worth to learn Unreal as a concept artist right now? Yeah, totally. Download Unreal. Go on the Unreal Marketplace. Download every free asset pack that comes out. Just get in the habit of always downloading it every month. because then you'll build out a huge asset library, and you could just like kit bash and throw stuff in the engine, nanite lumen the crap out of it, and just have fun. It might take a little bit to get used to it, or just kit bashing a scene, like you could totally do that. Anyone could learn it pretty quickly. It's like when you get into blueprints and stuff, that's where it gets a little heavy. But if you don't want to, you don't have to make any of your assets, right? Yeah. Plus, whatchamacallit is free with Unreal. Oh my gosh, why am I blanking on that? Quixel. Quixel is free with Unreal.
And you have a lot of assets with Quixel that you could use. I did a lot in Engine for Palia, so I got my hands dirty in the Engine quite a bit. I learned a lot of fun stuff. I had a lot of people teach me stuff. I think even for my brainstorm class, I did a little segment on Unreal too, showing how concept artists can use it. I love Blender, and there's a lot of cool stuff Blender's doing, but also Unreal is pretty cool too. I just like to paint stuff. For work though, I do in-engine block out. This is like kind of my normal workflow. All right, it's getting late.
Getting past my bedtime. Yeah, so this was the test stream, just to see how things go. And thank you guys so much for joining me today. I think it was a success. You get, 30 minutes of rant, and then a little bit of painting on something I've already started. So I don't know what I'm going to do with my YouTube channel. Maybe I'll make videos, maybe I'll stream more. I have no idea. I just wanted to get in here, set up the streaming rig again. Reach out to you guys, see how things are going, give a quick update. Yeah, so I think maybe streams, if I do it again, maybe just tighter, shorter. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Whatever I feel like doing. No promises. I don't know if I'm going to schedule. I'm like super busy and tired all the time. I'm getting old, guys. Getting old. Yeah, thank you guys for coming in and hanging out the whole time.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, maybe we'll do it again. I don't know. Maybe we'll do it again. I prefer stream than short video. Yeah, you're social. You are social. You like to hang out and chat. I get that for sure. One thing I gotta get used to again is painting, reading stream. Try not to freak out while I'm painting on stream. That's gonna take some time. I don't quite have the mental agility I used to have either, and it is late. Anyways, yeah, we'll probably do it again. I'll let everyone know on Instagram, on Discord, Twitter. I don't really post on Twitter, but I did, or X or whatever. What a world we're in right now. Yeah, but thank you guys so much for tuning in, and have a wonderful night. And I'll see you around again, okay?